Hey everyone, welcome to the Everyday Human podcast. My name is Easton Taverna. Each day I'll share a reflection written by me and inspired by literature, poetry, music, movies, video games, and more. And after that, I'll share a prompt for you to write your own reflection. Together, we'll explore what it means to be human. Every month, we'll walk a new path, taking a look at life, death, the universe, and everything in between. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you're here. For more, visit eastontaverna.com or join me on Instagram at _everydayhuman. Hello everyone, it's February 19th. We're cruising right along through this month like we're sailing over it in some great big airship, aren't we? I just got a couple of outdoor chores done, fed the birds, cleaned up the yard a little bit. It's saturated from a big rain we had yesterday. And even though it is still February, it kind of feels like spring is in the air. And today's reflection is titled, Will You Protect It? And it was inspired by one of my favorite video games, and a game that's considered one of the best games of all time, maybe. Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is a JRPG, that's Japanese role-playing game, and it came out in an amazing time for games. We had this sort of golden age of video games. We had, in this year, 1997, when it was released, GoldenEye, Star Fox 64 came out alongside this, among many others. And then right after that, in 1998, we had Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Xenogears, maybe my all-time favorite game, Metal Gear Solid, Suikoden 2, and really just so much more. It truly was a wonderful time for gaming. And this Final Fantasy VII first came out, it was published by Squaresoft, or Square, maybe you might have called it, and they eventually became Square Enix after a merger between these two Japanese video game publishing companies. And they've gone on to put out so many amazing games, so many of my favorite games. Alright, so briefly about Final Fantasy VII and the story. It follows Cloud Strife, who is a mercenary, and he joins a group of people called Avalanche. They are labeled as eco-terrorists by a mega-corporation who basically rules the world, and they're called Shinra. They're an electric power company, which is draining the planet's life force for energy. Does that sound familiar? The story escalates from there, and we just don't have time to get into all of it on this podcast, but there are plenty of podcasts who talk about it. You can go online and watch some video essays on it. You can play it yourself. It's available. It's pretty accessible these days, so that's really good. But the game is fantastic. It's wonderful. It has a great message exploring themes of environmentalism and stewardship of the planet, life and death, loss, grief, acceptance, identity and memory, humanity versus technology. All of these timeless themes that are just as relevant now, actually more relevant now, I think, than when it was released. And you can imagine that when my 12-year-old self played this for the first time, how eye-opening and mind-blowing it was for me. It's still great. It's still relevant. They actually remade the game for modern gaming and consoles. Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then there's the third part of it coming out maybe this year, maybe next year, I'm not really sure. Those games are very good from what I've played of them. However, I think there's something charming about the original one that you just cannot replicate. So either way, whichever form you play it in, do give it a whirl. I think the remakes still hold true to the original. In a lot of ways, they venture off on their own paths in a lot of ways as well, but that's fine. But the story and the characters still, I think, hold true. Today's quote comes from Sid Highwind. He's one of the wonderful cast members of the game. He's a foul-mouthed, chain-smoking rocket scientist, and he joins Cloud and the others to fight Shinra. He pilots the airship that you eventually get to control, which allows you to more easily traverse the world, because it is quite a big world. And here's the quote that inspired today's reflection. I always thought this planet was so huge, but looking at it from space, I realized it's so small. We're just floating in the dark. Kind of makes you feel powerless. On top of that, It's got Sephiroth festering inside it like a sickness. That's why I say this planet's still a kid. A little kid, sick and trembling, in the middle of this huge universe. Someone's got to protect it, you follow me? That someone is us. All right, and here is my reflection. Far into the future, the people will be born under eternal gray and glowing skies. None will know the color of the sun. Tents made of old plastic tarps will be their homes, nylon strings and cords lashing them together. Clothes not of cotton or wool, but scraps of polyester and acrylic will adorn their bodies and persist too, even after these thin and weak fleas upon a dead and rotting earth die off. They will eat gruel of unknown origins from crude bowls cut from plastic buckets, and they will filter whatever liquid they can find through charcoal taken from the pine barrens. The once last forest which burned long ago when a bad fight for land turned worse. They will drink the brown stuff from glass bottles to numb themselves from a bleak reality. And their only hope will be a girl, a runner, who wishes for nothing more than to leave her choking village and venture out past where the road ends in search of green and life. I, of course, am no oracle. This setting is pulled from a post-apocalyptic series of a novel and companion comic that I wrote, and while I love my story and my characters, I do not love that this world came to life in my mind after traveling the world for pleasure and work, and seeing the immense and seemingly infinite waste produced by a human race who practices consumerism and disposability as their religions of choice. And then seeing perhaps the greatest offender of all in returning home to America. And this is no judgment. I am a part of that population just as much as anyone else, though I do try my best to curb my use of plastics and non-biodegradable and one-use goods, however hard that might be. The planet is a sick little kid, and we are to blame. But that future of a dead world does not have to come to pass. Humans are capable of great destruction, yes, but we are also capable of great care and love. We are capable of fixing things that we have broken, because it is in our nature to not give up. So my ask of you is to slow down, consider what it is you are buying and using. Ask yourself, do you really need it? Is there another option? And while you're at it, plant a tree, or a bush, or a plant, whatever you can, wherever you can. Show our Mother Earth that you have not given up on her, and that you are here to protect her. Hug her. For real, do it. Hug a tree, or the ground, or a boulder, because someone's got to protect her. You follow me? That someone is us. And there ends today's reflection. And my gosh, is it difficult sometimes, I feel like, to try and do these things when the world around you is set up for the opposite. I kick myself in the ass every time I forget my reusable bag, going to the grocery store. I need to get better about that. It seems like every single thing you buy comes in a form of plastic, which is just crazy. And I hope with small actions from each of us, we can start to shift in a different direction. Looking at the way the world is now, the direction we're going, the water shortages, the pollution, climate change, the whole 9 yards, and then looking at the future generations, I am worried and concerned. But I'm not going to give up. Like Avalanche, like Cloud and Sid, I'm going to keep trying, and I hope you do too. And do plant trees, bushes, flowers, whatever you can, and seriously, hug a tree. There's science behind it. It reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, can help boost your mood. You might feel silly doing it, but anytime we're out in the woods and I'm with my daughter, we stop and we hug the trees. And it's awesome. Seriously, give it a try. Let me know if you do. And look at that. This is turning into maybe the longest episode yet, approaching 10 minutes. Here is your reflection question that you can write your thoughts down in your journal, on your napkin, or just consider, maybe while you're going outside for a walk or planting something. Ask yourself this: what habits can I change to reduce my waste footprint? What will I plant today? And this is very nature-focused, obviously. This could very easily fit in the month of April, which is on nature for the everyday human. But I kept it here in February on life because without Earth, without nature, we wouldn't have our life. So they go hand in hand. And that is it for today, February 19th. I'll be back tomorrow, February 20th, which I think will be the 52nd episode. So I guess yesterday was the 50th. Cool. That's a little bit of a milestone, I guess. All right. I'll be back. Have a good one. Take care.